Manchester United haven't even kicked a ball in the new season yet, and they've already made their first signing of the summer. But here's the thing, this is just the start. We're not talking about one signing. We're not talking about two. Reports are saying Ineos are ready to bring in a minimum of 5 players this summer. And the names? Let me tell you, Red Devils, things are about to get very, very exciting. This is the Red Devils report, and today we are breaking down everything happening at Old Trafford this transfer window. Don't go anywhere. Before we get into the juicy stuff, we need to be honest about where United have come from. Last season, 15th in the Premier League, no trophies. Ruben Amorim came, tried, failed, and was ultimately replaced by Michael Carrick, who steadied the ship. But now Carrick has been confirmed as permanent manager. And this is his rebuild. And the numbers backing him? According to reports, United spent around £216 million last summer alone on Sesko, Mbeumo, Cunha, Lamens and Diego Leão. That's a brand new attack, essentially from scratch. But the midfield? Left largely untouched. And everyone, the fans, the pundits, Carrick himself, knew that had to be addressed. So this summer, midfield first. Wing additions, left back depth, potentially a new goalkeeper situation. This is not a patch-up job, this is a structural overhaul. Let's start with the big one, the name that broke through this week. Ederson Silva from Atalanta, the Brazilian international defensive midfielder. And according to Team Talk and Fabrizio Romano, this deal is essentially done. We're talking a fee in the region of €50 million, around £43 million, with the player reportedly agreeing personal terms on a deal running until 2031. That's 6 years of commitment. 6 years he reportedly wants to come, and United reportedly want him. And Romano has since backed that up publicly, saying Ederson would be open to joining. Now, who is Ederson? Don't get him confused with the Man City goalkeeper, by the way. This Ederson is a destroyer in midfield. He shields the back four, he wins headers, he breaks up play. Everything that United have been missing since Casemiro's powers started declining. Casemiro, by the way, has now left the club upon the expiration of his contract. So there is a very clear and urgent void to fill there. If this deal goes through, and all signs say it will, this is Carrick saying, I want a real warrior at the base of my midfield. This is the foundation, and you build from there. But Ederson is just player one in what could be a 3 midfielder haul this summer. 3, let that sink in. Reports from The Sun and Sportsmole confirm that United intend to bring in at least 2 central midfielders and potentially a third if Manuel Ugarte departs the club. Now, Ugarte has fallen out of favour under Carrick and his future is murky at best. If he goes, United are prepared to accelerate. So who are they looking at? Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest is described as the dream target. United are actively in talks with Forest right now, trying to get something done before the World Cup. The only problem, Manchester City are also in this race, and according to Team Talk, City are willing to make Anderson their most expensive signing ever. We're talking north of £100 million. That is a serious obstacle. Sandro Tonali from Newcastle is on the list too. Newcastle apparently willing to sell if the price is right. A technically gifted box-to-box midfielder who United would love to pair with Ederson. Carlos Baleba from Brighton is still on the radar, though United was scared off last summer by an asking price over £100 million. More affordable alternatives include Adam Wharton and João Gomes from Wolves, with whom informal dialogue has already reportedly taken place. The message is clear. Carrick doesn't want one midfielder. He wants to rebuild the entire engine room, and he has the backing to do it. Now, if the midfield news wasn't exciting enough, let's talk about the winger that could make this a truly special window. Rafael Leão, AC Milan, Portuguese international, one of the most electrifying wide players in European football. And according to multiple reports this week, United are front runners to sign him. Here's what's changed. Milan previously valued Leão at above 100 million euros, basically untouchable. But now, they're reportedly open to a sale at 50 million euros. Half the price. That is a dramatic shift. And United, who have been identified as genuinely interested alongside a shortlist that includes Iliman Ndiaye and Chelsea youngster Tyreek George, are said to be the frontrunners. Leão has long coveted a move to the Premier League. And the chance to come to Old Trafford to play alongside Sesko and Mbeumo and Kuna, that's a front four that could terrify any defence in Europe. The reporting also describes Fenerbahce as competition. But let's be serious. If Leão wants the Premier League, United versus Fenerbahce isn't really a decision, is it? This one would be a statement. The kind of signing that makes people say United are back. Of course, for United to fund all this activity, there are exits to handle too, and the biggest one is Marcus Rashford. Rashford, remember, spent this season on loan at Barcelona, and honestly, he's been brilliant. 14 goals, 14 assists in 48 appearances. The boy has genuinely rediscovered himself. And now Barcelona want to keep him permanently. The situation is this. United want 30 million euros for a permanent deal. Barcelona want to be more creative with the payment structure, but crucially Rashford himself has said publicly and privately he only wants Barcelona. He has already agreed personal terms with them, so there's an agreement in spirit, just the money to sort. Real Madrid have also been tentatively linked, and Aston Villa are ready to pounce if the Barcelona deal collapses. But the smart money says Rashford ends up at the Camp Nou, and United get their 30 million euros to reinvest alongside Rashford. Antony, barred from pre-season training last summer, is also set to depart permanently. Tyrell Malaysia's contract has expired. Sancho returns from his Villa loan with an uncertain future. The squad trim is well underway. Beyond midfield and attack, United are also scanning for a new left-back, and this is interesting because of what it tells us about Carrick's tactical plans. Patrick Dorgu, signed last winter, is reportedly being considered for a more advanced role. He briefly shone as a more attacking option under Carrick before picking up an injury. A new left-back would give United the flexibility to push Dorgu forward. Luke Shaw is still there, but turns 31 in July and has spent more time in the physio room than on the pitch in recent seasons. One name that has been recommended internally: Miles Lewis-Skelly from Arsenal. The young Englishman who's been playing midfield for Arsenal but was brought through as a left-back. An interesting forward-thinking option, and the goalkeeper, Andre Onana, could be heading back to Inter Milan this summer in what would be a surprising but not entirely shocking twist. Sena Lamens, signed last summer from Antwerp, would then step up as the clear number one, and United would look for backup cover. The ambition is there. The structure is being rebuilt from the bottom up. And underpinning all of this is one huge stabilising decision. Michael Carrick is the permanent manager. After taking interim charge and steadying the ship, United's hierarchy have backed him for the long term. And Carrick, for his part, is not wasting any time. The Ederson pursuit alone tells you he knows exactly what he wants. Then there's Bruno Fernandes, the captain. United are planning talks with him about his future ahead of the World Cup. Sources have told ESPN there was interest from Saudi Arabia last summer, and there will likely be more interest after the tournament. United's preference? Keep him for at least one more year. The club is in transition. You don't strip out your captain and leader mid-rebuild. Bruno broke the Premier League assist record in United's final game of the season. He is still world-class, and Carrick knows that building around him makes sense while the new structure takes shape. United finished third in the Premier League this season, by the way. Third, that means Champions League football is back at Old Trafford next year, and that changes everything in terms of attracting players. The window just got a lot bigger. So let's bring it all together. Manchester United this summer, Ederson from Atalanta, essentially done, £43 million. The midfield anchor Carrick needed. Elliot Anderson from Forest, dream target, rates against Man City. Rafael Leão from Milan, frontrunners, 50 million euros, Premier League, ready winger. Sandro, Tonali, Joao Gomez, Baleba, midfield options being circled. New left back Miles Lewis-Skelly recommended internally. Rashford exit. Barcelona deal close at 30 million euros. This is not a quiet summer. This is not a patch job. This is Manchester United trying to rebuild into genuine Champions League contenders. And for the first time in a long while, the pieces are starting to fall into place. Carrick is permanent. Bruno is staying. The Champions League is back. The summer is just beginning. Are you excited? Drop a comment below. Who's the one signing you want most this summer? Ederson, Leão, Elliot Anderson, let me know. If you're new here, subscribe. We cover United transfers, tactics and news every single week. Like the video if you got something from it, and I'll see you in the next one.